The Dallas Cowboys drop their first game of the season and fall to 2-1 against the Arizona Cardinals. In a game that was supposed to be a double-digit victory for Dallas according to the odds, the Cowboys started the afternoon as 12.5-point favorites, but it was apparent from the very beginning of this game that this team did not come ready to play. The Cowboys simply did not look like one of the league's best teams. Rather, one of the league's worst. And we all watched the game. There was a lot of bad things from this Cowboys loss. Honestly, too much to talk about in one video. So we're going to look at just 3 things that lost the Cowboys this game. And I have to wonder, will it even get fixed? To start off the video, let's talk about the Cowboys' run defense. They gave up 222 yards on the ground. 98 to James Conner, 55 to Josh Dobbs, 54 to Rondale Moore, and then 13 to Keontae Ingram. The Cowboys were getting gashed left and right, whether it was by James Conner on 6 or 7 yard runs, or by Rondale Moore when he hit his head on the goalpost from like 45 yards out. I said it in my Cowboys preview that if I was Dallas, I would have sold out to stop the run. The only way this team was going to beat you is by running the ball down your throat. They weren't going to win it on the back of Josh Dobbs. They weren't going to win it with this group of receivers. They were going to win it by running the ball down Dallas's throat. And that's exactly what they did. And you know what's even worse about this? The 2 teams that the Cowboys are going to have to face in the NFC can run the ball even better than the Cardinals. Philly and San Francisco have really good offensive lines and really good running backs. Just for reference, Josh Dobbs had 178 yards in the air. Do you think 178 yards would really beat you? He only threw the ball 21 times. And while the Cardinals did complete some passes, a lot of that was because they were getting chunk plays in the run game. For Dallas and its defense, this is an awful look. A unit that said it was the best in the league just got ran over by Josh Dobbs, James Conner, and Hollywood Brown. None of who we think are elite in this league. Absolutely awful showing for the defense altogether. I mean, we could sit here and talk about the Cowboys secondary and linebacker play, but for right now, we're going to stick with the front 7. That group was not good today. The Cowboys defensive line got pushed around. Their linebackers couldn't get off blocks. It was awful all the way around. But the defense wasn't the only unit that lost this game. The Cowboys' red zone offense was atrocious. I can't remember the last time the Cowboys were this bad in the red zone to start the season. It can't have been in the time that Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator. As we all know, Kellen Moore is no longer here. So now it's on Mike McCarthy to get this figured out. Now, when I say red zone offense, I mean play calling and execution. Because there were times in this game when they would show on the broadcast and the wide receivers for the Cowboys were not even close to getting open. Like, Dak didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. But it also didn't look great with the play design either. But the thing that really set it off and really just made me lose my mind was at the end of the game, when the Cowboys kept running the ball with under 4 minutes left in the game down in the red zone. And then the one time they do throw the ball, it's an interception by Dak. Mike McCarthy ran 4, 5, 6, 7 plays down in the red zone as time dwindled away, knowing that the Cowboys needed 2 scores to possibly win this game. And he just kept running the ball. And that was what frustrated me the most. When the Cowboys got 1st and goal, they ruined their chances of scoring in the red zone by running the ball on the first play every single time and getting 1 or 2 yards. I understand that the run game was working getting down the field, but when the Cowboys got down there in the red zone, it wasn't working. Yet Mike McCarthy kept slamming his head on the door. And you know, I would love to blame the offensive struggles and the red zone struggles on the offensive line. The Cowboys were missing Zach Martin, Tyler Biotish, and Tyron Smith. I can't even blame the offensive line. They had 2 undrafted guys at center and right guard, and they weren't even the reason that you lost this game. The execution by Dak, the execution by the wide receivers, and Mike McCarthy's play calling just wrapped it all up in a bow. The offense was terrible down in the red zone, and that's going to have to get fixed. The Cowboys are not going to win games, especially when you combine that run defense with this offense in the red zone. You're not going to win a lot of games in the NFL playing like that. And the third and final reason the Cowboys lost this game, it's probably not hard to guess. penalties. 13 accepted penalties for 107 yards. Probably more than the 107 yards because one of those holding penalties was a 60-yard play by Cavante Turpin on the punt return. So really that yardage is probably even higher. But the penalties today were absolutely unacceptable. Awful from the offense, from the defense, from everybody involved. That was the most undisciplined team I've seen since 2020 and 2021 for the Cowboys. Awful performance from everyone involved. But before we end this video, I want to apologize to Michael Gallup. Not sure if he's a fan of the Double Move channel, but Michael Gallup seemed like the only player that came to play today. 6 catches for 92 yards. Should have had a pass interference in the corner of the end zone. Michael Gallup came to play. I made a video on him not being involved in the offense, maybe thinking he wasn't going to be a contributor this year. I apologize to Michael Gallup. He balled out today and is really the only reason your offense did much of anything. The Cowboys have heard about how good they were for 2 straight weeks. That's all we've heard, how good that defense is, how legendary it might be. But today, they got kicked in the teeth bad by Josh Dobbs and James Conner. I can't remember the last time I was that furious watching a Cowboys game. This defense is not as good as we think they are. And if the Cowboys can't fix this run defense, they might be in serious trouble, especially when you look at them against the top contenders in the NFC, like the 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles. I will make more videos talking about this game, but for now, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This is not the video I wanted to make. Let's hope the Cowboys can pick it up next week. I love you all. Bye.